We were very excited that Noel Hogan came to one of my colleagues, Owen in Gilcoda, and talked to her about the idea of Limerick School of Art and Design making a video for the Cranberries' final album.
I had painters and I had animators to work with. You've got like a really 2D style going on over a fine art painting style, and then you've got an FX, a really digital FX style overlapping the 2D and the fine art style.
It was something like we'd never heard about before. We didn't know this was even possible.
There was a darkness to the lyrics, and the theme of environmental issues and global warming and all that seemed to carry this message.
Maybe the reference to wake me up when it's over implies that maybe that it will sometime maybe be over and that we can kind of move on, and maybe there is a kind of a sense of hope in it in that sense.
It's a fantastic opportunity to work with people, not only outside, i.e. the Cranberries, but people inside the college in terms of the other departments.
Because I suppose the other thing that's maybe quite different for us is that everyone's working in different places, in different studios, and in different ways.
I think animation lends itself very much to painting. The difference in many ways is animation is 25 frames of painting for every second. Animation is different in many ways because animation needs to be looser. And I think the process and the approach that was taken by the painting students with Tom was very interesting, because it was this stop motion approach, this looser approach to get the looseness of texture and try and capture those frames to bring the visual, bring the painting to life on screen.
The animation work we mainly did on this project was animating transitions, or working on an automatic painting, which would be beginning the first shot of a blank canvas and then building up the painting over time, recording each frame. So each frame would be a few marks of paint, and then these would develop over time into a final completed background.
It was very different to what we're normally used to, remembering, first working out how many pictures you needed per second. So if you needed 3 seconds worth of pictures, you needed 72 images. And remembering then to stop every time you did a little bit and not get lost in your painting was very different.
We had to work from a storyboard, and from that storyboard we could add whatever kind of flair we wanted. So if there was like, all I had to have was an iceberg, but I got to plan out everything else, so the colours and the way the landscape, the composition of the landscape and everything like that.
The process of painting to the animation was really interesting because it took in new considerations that you would never think of before, and the ideas of timing and of placement and doing different effects like smoke or like fire. One of the girls had to do water.
I worked on the polar bear scene and the dolphin scene. I used Toon Boom Harmony for that, but I just did by hand, and I researched a bit just to know exactly how they move and stuff.
My role of compositing was mostly compositing the different effects that I was making onto a green screen background, so then they could be applied to the final project. I also worked as a VFX animator on this, so I worked on dust effects, fire effects and water effects.
We just want to thank Yi for doing, for the school, for just kind of putting the heads down, because I know that the time scale can be a bit of a pressure as well,